advantage market to begin with. I don't want clients in a community that I've done business with for almost 40 years to feel that my law firm is taking advantage. So we charge $2,475 to do a first trustee, $925 to remove a second trustee. Unheard of for a law firm. If you look on, I believe it's page 2, you will see our refund policy. If I don't get the judgment for your client, I hand them 100% refund on the spot. Write a check. Right in here, in the refund policy, and this refund policy is in every one of my retainer agreements with my bar number. Okay? I am acting as an extension of you. This market is all about credibility. If you call 1877 We Fix Everything Credit Repair, are you going to be comfortable with that, or are you going to be comfortable sending your client to a local law firm that lives and breathes short sales real estate? We specialize in real estate. We understand this process. We can deliver a successful result, and again, bring your client back into the marketplace. Okay? 100% guarantee. Timeline, it's approximately 120 days. Now, when do you want to use us? Okay? Well, originally we started the program. This is our second year. We spent 1 year developing it and the last 13 months implementing it. So originally it was, we wanted escrow to be closed. Well, the problem we have with that is the collateral damage from these types of transactions are brutal. It isn't just so much that you're doing a short sale, it's the fact that the family has to relocate, you have kids being moved from school districts, we have suicides that are going on, we have all kinds of awful things that are a result of these types of transactions. So what we've been able to do in a perfect world is, if you're doing your short sale for your client and you open escrow, we now work with a handful of banks that are familiar with us, understand this process. We'll go ahead and open escrow on a new transaction, underwrite the loan, and I think there's some loan officers here, we'd be more than happy to discuss it if you'd like. Underwrite the loan, get all your verifs done, everything contingent upon receipt of this judgment. So if everything flows perfectly, we close short sale escrow on the 1st, we're in court on the 2nd, we get the judgment on the 2nd, we submit to all the databases, we close the new purchase 3 or 4 days behind receiving the judgment. Okay? Pretty good stuff. Now I'm going to jump around a little bit because I have a lot kind of going on in my head. We had a phone system blowout, and being an old school person like I am and not really understanding technology, apparently, as I now understand it, a $4 fan broke in our computer system and it wiped out our entire phones. So for 2.5 days we've been working off of cell phones, and we have an extremely busy office. And again, understanding the value of phones, if this isn't working and ringing for me, I'm just lost. All right, so bear with me on that. Okay, I want to talk about SB 458 for a moment. Are you guys clear? I saw something up on the board about it, about SB 458, wiping out the deficiencies on the seconds. Okay. So if you have a short sale negotiation and the second now refuses to accept any money, okay, what are the alternatives? They say to you, well, I want you to pay out of your commission. I don't want to pay any money. Okay? So typically what happens, either you as a realtor have to chip in, try to find this money elsewhere, or the deal breaks down and the deal doesn't get closed, right? What happens to the property? The property proceeds on to foreclosure. Short sale transaction's dead, now we're looking at a foreclosure. This system works whether it's a loan mod, whether it's a short sale, or whether it's a foreclosure. So even if your short sale transaction breaks down and it goes to foreclosure, you can still bring your client into Georgia, we can still implement this activity, we can still remove it, and you can still sell them a new property. Okay? Additionally, I want to make myself available to you in this way. This is a very difficult time for this community with all these short sales, foreclosures. If you ask 10 different people what a short sale or what a foreclosure is, you're going to get 10 different answers. Okay? My firm has 14 people in it, 3 senior attorneys. We calculated last year 36,000 hours into nothing but this. This year we spend about 4,000 hours a month collectively in nothing but these services. We pride ourselves on our knowledge, and my point is this: I don't charge for my consultations. If you have clients that don't understand what's happening, they want to get a professional response, whatever it is, call my office. Very simple. Kindly not tell you how to get a hold of me. I will get on the phone. I typically block out 20 minutes. I don't charge. And I would just say, what is your issue? What is it that you're trying to do? Okay? So I make myself available as a resource because you guys have to have somebody to turn to. Where are you going to go? I like to talk about competition for a second because this is something that's kind of near and dear to me. this is such a bad market, all kinds of competitors are going to pop up, and guys are going to tell you about credit repair and that they're the best and that there's this and they're that, whatever it is. There's a company out there called Dispute Suite. Some of you may or may not be aware. They're going to have a boot camp here in San Diego in October. And they are, as we speak, training thousands of individuals to come into our communities and be credit repair experts. Now, when I was first introduced to this company a year ago and I was offered a position with them, the first question I asked was, what do you do about foreclosures and short sales? They said, oh, we've got a great system. Well, terrific. What is it? Because we were designing this at the time. What's your system? Well, when you write a dispute letter to either of the 3 credit bureaus, on the receiving end, when you send your dispute in, there's a computer system called eOscar. So this is how they train their reps to handle foreclosures. You take your dispute form that we know is going to go to the credit bureaus, you put a staple in it because eOscar can't read the document with a staple in it. So it's going to go ahead and remove the foreclosure. Now, is that how you want to advise your clients in today's world? Put a staple in a piece of paper and hope it doesn't get read by eOscar? So then I asked, well, what about MERS, and what about LoanSafe, and what about all these other databases? Well, we don't really deal with those. We're only dealing with the 3 credit bureaus. Well, my response to that was, well, then what's the point of doing it? Because if you're successful and you clear the foreclosure from the 3 bureaus and you go through underwriting and somebody pulls a MERS or a LoanSafe or a CoreLogic at the end and there's a foreclosure, your transaction's dead.
Which they will.
Which they will. Absolutely, you're the lender, correct? Yeah. Which they will. So if I hand you a court order that says that all this information is inaccurate, if it should appear, and I show you a court order for your underwriting that says remove it, it's inaccurate, do you honor that?
Well, I just would want to see it probably.
Okay.
They would probably have to get out of MERS and all that stuff
right,
first.
Which this process will do. Okay. And you're more than welcome to take a look at that judgment if you like and see it. So the reason why I bring this up is because, again, this market to me is all about credibility and integrity and honor. We're only as good as who we are and how we represent ourselves to the community that we're doing business with. I take a tremendous amount of pride in this. I personally went through the loan mod. I personally went through the short sale. It cost me my home. It cost me, I went through a horrible divorce as a result of it, because like a guy, I would walk through the house and try to high-five myself going, hey, we just missed another payment. My wife's in the corner holding baby pictures crying because we're going to lose the house. So I understand this whole process. Not only did I design the system, but I personally went through it. So it's passionate to me. I'm very concerned for these clients, and we want to help. All right. So beyond that, I don't want to kind of go on more and more with more philosophies. What I'd rather do is make myself available to answer some questions.